I'm live. Weird. Okay. Let's ground and clear the energies. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hello and welcome to ArcanaUniverse. This is going to be Sagittarius July 2025 energy forecast reading. Let's get started. As a friendly reminder, this is a general reading, so only take what resonates. Hello, Isa. Oh, this is so, oh gosh, this is weird. Because, like, I pressed the go live button, right? But it's just like, it still has the title at the bottom, and I don't know. Hopefully, it's not gonna mess with me and the ability to read the comments, but because I can't really see, I can barely make it out. But we'll see. We'll make it through it. Anyways, let's get to it. So, as a friendly reminder, this is a general reading, so we'll take what resonates. We do have cross watchers, so roles can be reversed, but you will know if this is your story and which side you are on. Oh, geez, the Sagittarius energy. You know what? Let's just do it. So, as with all of my readings, they are timeless, so know that you found it at the perfect time. Okay? I can read them, but like, maybe if you like do like double comment, then it'll scoot it up. But it's like your icon is covered by my icon, and then your username is covered by my title. So it's just kind of like I could barely make it out. But I'm glad at least I'm live and that is working, you know, so yeah. Start it over? Really? Should I? No, let's just do it. Let's just do it. You know, you started it. We're gonna commit to it. Okay? So, look at that. Your energy is coming in strongly. What I see here is that there's some sort of distance or time to oneself because there has been some level of conflict. And this is ultimately somebody here stood in their power, even if the person that they had to stand in their power with was somebody that they really cared about, had strong feelings for, like a soulmate kind of energy. Like, this is somebody that they really felt the soulful connection with. And so, you know, I can see why they really retracted, because this energy, at the end of the day, they're looking for somebody to hold with, you know, just straight and to the point. Somebody here wants to find somebody to have and to hold, you know, higher level of commitment, whether that is marriage or what have you. But somebody here wants to build a family, you know, whether or not there are kids involved, it doesn't matter. Somebody here wants to build a legacy. Okay, they want to, something about also making money with their partner as well. So this is somebody who's just like, they want to bring their lover or somebody that they really care about, they want to bring them into their life and make, like, get a bag with them. And what I mean by that is just like, somebody here wants to make money, and it's like, and there is no distinction between romance and finance, career, etc. It's just like they want to involve their love. They want to invite and collaborate with the person that they want to have this legacy with. So this, I can tell this energy really wants a partner. And for those of you who are familiar with, you know, any type of partnership dynamics, whether that is in, you know, business, family, romance, what have you, it takes two, and it takes effort. And there's somebody here is wanting to have faith and trust that the person that they're connecting with is as invested as they are. Okay? And so hello, Tonisa. God. Okay, so, I mentioned it earlier, but tonight, unless you guys double comment, I'm not gonna be able to read it fully, but I think it's okay. It's okay. But glad to have you here, Teresa. I'm glad I can at least kind of see who's messaging. So somebody here, they're going through a tough time. I will say that because there is something that ended. Hello, Jo wrote hi. Sorry, like I can't see the whole thing. Oh my gosh, maybe. Aw, you are having a tough time. Yeah, I can see it here. So yeah, I'm picking up on energy that is just like there was a significant ending or something like that that really like took a lot from them. Like energetically, this is somebody that is just kind of like they're tired. They're just tired. Oh, Joel. Okay, hello, Joel Topping. See, when you double comment, I can actually read the previous one. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I decided why not? You guys know I like to like dress up and I like to play sometimes. I think it's very important. It's just like when we were growing up, we as kids we like to play and dress up and you know just have fun. And so it's just like I do like to bring that, let my inner kid out once in a while. Have fun with it. And so no, I try to honor it and like change it up. But yeah, as mentioned, somebody here is going through a hard time, is sad, because this is what they really want. This is what they're passionate about. But it's like every time they feel like they have somebody that fits the bill, so to speak, I just kind of feel like either they're like super mean or super like logical mindset. Like they're not compassionate, they're not understanding. It's like they're somebody here is not able to connect with them on a spiritual higher level. And so somebody here is sad and disappointed that a connection that they were hoping would work out is just it's not fitting. Like something there's definitely some sort of abruptness, okay, that I am picking up. Is somebody still married or something, or still perhaps they they still keep in contact with their ex, or they're still married, or I don't know, there's something about a commitment that's already have been established, but somebody came in and so somebody here is like, no, hell no. They're just like, it perhaps this energy I'm getting, like they made it seem like they were going to leave that connection. Yeah. Oh, thank you for confirming. Joel wrote, I'm sad, I'm disappointed. Yeah. So somebody here is just like they've had enough. They have recognized some sort of pattern within them. You know, yeah, it's like no more dealing with somebody who is hello, Ki. Just kind of looks like you wrote and or I don't know. Anyways, so somebody here recognizes a pattern. Like if somebody is kind of they don't really have things finalized, if they're still in um oh, okay, they did. Okay, thank you for confirming. I think that's what you wrote. But it's like somebody here is understanding that there's a pattern, like that they're kind of going all in with liars and people who promise a fantasy, or it's just somebody here realized that they're connecting with those who are not sincere about like their communication, the promises that they make, etc. They don't uphold it. For them, it's just words. Whereas the other individual, the person that actually wants something long term, their word is everything. You know, this is the type of person who, like, you know, if they promise something, they'll keep it, or at least they'll try their best to make it work, or they're willing to compromise and put in the effort. But it's just like the other person that they're dealing with is just like pretty words. You know, they'll just say what sounds right, what is logical, etc. And that may be advantageous. Advan Can I talk right now? Yeah, advantageous, right? I don't know. So somebody here is like they're just willing to say things that will benefit them, but they don't really mean it, or like perhaps they mean it at the time, but they don't put in the effort or the work to follow through. So it's the same thing as like painting a fantasy. It's just like there is no intention of fully carrying it out, but yeah, sure, they like the thought of it and they like it if you like it, but it's like there's no stability, there's no setting of a foundation, setting roots. It just felt very, I'm getting strong air signs. Okay, I'm getting strong air signs. So you may be dealing with a Gemini, Aquarius, or a Libra under Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, but it's just like, okay, why did this happen? So it just keeps talking about how somebody here had this realization that they're seeing a pattern here, okay, of people being phonies, seeing red flags, and somebody here is building up a skill, a muscle, so to speak, of recognizing red flags right away. No more wasting time, because time is money, right? Money is precious. Somebody here is just very focused on their finances and they're just sick and tired of being played or being manipulated or being fed false promises. And so they're just like willing to cut anybody off who is exhibiting these kinds of behaviors, toxic behaviors, okay? So as much as it has been very difficult for this individual, it's kind of have been some sort of ego death. Okay, this realization that somebody here can put their heart and soul and put their emotions and feelings on the line only for it to, you know, I mean, I see that it was reciprocated at one point, but it again, it didn't have longevity, and this is ultimately what this person wants: longevity, somebody that they can trust, and not just say pretty words just to make the other person happy or not rock the boat, you know? Okay. Okay, advice. We'll do advice. What's the advice for those who's going through a difficult time? What's the advice? Okay, no. Somebody here is utilizing religion as a front. Okay, so perhaps they're like, oh, I'm a Jesus lover. Oh, I believe in God. Like, or like, oh, I believe in karma. Like, I don't do anything wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay, somebody here is utilizing religion and their connection with God, you know, or lack thereof, but they don't, but the person that they're trying to fool, etc., they don't know that. They don't know how intently they really do follow in the footsteps of these spiritual leaders and people and influences, right? So the advice here is don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Okay, so there are bad people who disguise themselves as a certain religion and they're not good and they don't follow and they're, all of that. And so it's saying acknowledge the red flags when you see it. Don't be fooled. Just because they have a title that makes them seem like, oh, they must be spiritual. Oh, they must be operating out of faith and good karma and virtue. No. Somebody here is using manipulative tactics, using religion to disguise themselves and I'm getting evil, their evil deeds, etc. And so, okay, anything else? Yeah, somebody here, it's like they're trying to just play the field, play with people's emotions. They don't really care. They don't care that much. They don't. They just care about themselves. So this is definitely strong narcissistic behaviors. Okay? It's just like they're just in it for themselves. They're willing to just play and break people and hurt people along the way, and they don't feel guilty, they don't feel sad. This is something's wrong up here. Okay, this is the devil's work. Again, like, who utilizes religion as an excuse or pretends to be somebody they're not? You're dealing with somebody here is dealing with somebody that is a pro manipulator, liar. Okay, and it's a sin. I consider it sacrilege for this energy to pretend to be spiritual and like virtuous, only to just backstab people. And oh, let's clear the energies. Jeez Louise. Okay, for those, as you know, I have both sides watching in. For those who are doing the deceiving, the light knows. God knows exactly what this energy is doing. So it's just like, if they're wondering how come nothing works in their favor, how come it's always like short-lived, and it's because the truth always comes out. The truth always comes out as karma, and it's going to be a never-ending black hole of lies and deceit. And not only is this energy fooling everybody else, they're fooling themselves. So it's just like somebody here is not living authentically. Okay, and God reveals all, God sees all, and karma, they don't say karma is a bitch for no reason. Okay, karma is going to set things into balance. They're not going to be like, oh well, remember that time that you picked up trash, but it's like, well, last week you just cheated on somebody with a married person. Like, no. That's an example. Okay, so somebody here has a skewed way of thinking, weird way of just justifying. It's like something's severely screwed up here. Okay, so the message to them is just like the manipulation and stuff like that. The thing about this energy, they're depressed, they're insecure, they're all of that. And guess what? God sees all. Okay, and those that are enlightened, who are karmically good with God, God's gonna let them know. God's gonna let them know, because God is going to protect them. And so it's like, don't you want to live free? Don't you want to live as a good person? And for those who are, those who, end up being like good with God and etc., there's so much blessings, so much blessings. Okay, so just the final message, just to finish this portion of the reading off, for those of you who have been hurt, has been played, has been toyed with, in regards to their emotions and their finances, all of that. Okay, you're stronger now. You're stronger. You experience something that not everybody is going to fully accept and realize, because they decide not to see things for the truth. Is living in denial. But somebody here is awakened, they see the red flags, and now all this energy has to do is honor what they're seeing. Honor the truth that is being revealed, and actually, putting themselves in situations that where they're actually being protective and mindful of who they surround themselves with. So it's it's okay to be picky. You don't have to give everybody a chance just because somebody goes, hey, hi, you want to talk? You look cute. You look hot. You don't have to respond. You don't have to say. You can be polite. You can be like, oh, thank you. Much appreciated. What have you. You don't have to be mean, but it's just like, just because somebody's knocking at your door or somebody is trying to be like, hey, so, hey. If they're just oozing, player vibes, and I mean, sooner or later, the mask always comes off. It does. They can't keep it forever because that's not who they are, right? So hang in there, okay? With time and reflection and seclusion, to reflect and all of that is going to help. And when you're ready after the healing, go out there, have fun, and open yourself up. Don't let past hurts and baggage dictate the rest of your life. You have your whole life ahead of you. And so imagine, like, you have that much love to give and that you want to share it with somebody special. There is also somebody like that out there who's looking for somebody just like you. So don't give up, okay? And you don't have to settle, okay? You don't have to settle. Okay. All right. So let's do, I'll give you guys a chance. Okay. I'm going to do a spinny spin portion. And by the time I finish the spinny spin, if we get 7 more likes, I'm going to do all signs. Okay. Yeah. Oh, tonight? I need tonight. Well, if you're, as some of you guys know, my personal sessions, personal readings, I don't really have any openings like within 40 hours. Hello, 8. Okay. But yeah, it's usually I don't accept. Yeah, it's like I don't know. I'll think about it. Maybe. This is an emergency reading. Oh, by the way, 8 is kind of like the messages, I can't see them right away. Like it's a little covered, so if you double comment, it helps. But anyways, so we need 6 more likes. 6 more likes before we do all signs. So by the time I finish the spinny spin portion, if we can get 6 more likes, then we do all signs. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. 1 and a 2 and a self. Okay, so your higher self wants to have a little talk with you. Okay, remember, roles can be reversed. This may be the higher self of somebody that you're dealing with, etc. But we'll see. We'll see. You'll know. Okay, but somebody's higher self wants to have a little chat. Okay, your higher self, somebody's higher self. So somebody here wants to admit, or like they want to admit defeat. Somebody here wants to admit defeat, or like they feel like they sabotage the connection, like they know it's their fault. Somebody here understands that it's their fault, and their higher self is like, sorry. Somebody's higher self is saying sorry. It's like, because somebody here was very attractive, okay, very attractive, and instead of embracing this connection and loving hard and loving with all their heart, they held back. Somebody here held back. And so the higher self wants to reveal the truth, which is that this person that may have sabotaged the connection, their higher self wants to say, like, that was the dumbest thing that they would ever, like, that their their 3D self has done, and they're just like kicking themselves for jeopardizing this connection. Because I do see here okay, well, it depends. It depends. If you I can't read what you said. Something about serious, but here, I'll make a special little option for you. Okay? And you can take it, or you don't need to take it. But okay, good. But anyway, so as you know, it's like 48 hours. This is obviously an emergency reading. But you asked for 30 minutes, pretty much right after this. So if you cash out 300 before this video, before this live is over, cash out 300, because I'm pretty sure I still have you blocked on PayPal because of the last incident. And so I told myself, like, I don't care. I'm not gonna receive money from you. Like, you wasted my time before. And so, but as you know, since then you've approached me with respect and all of that. And so I will give you this opportunity if you're really serious about it. 300 and my Cash App. The Cash App link is in the description of this video. You just have to follow the Linktree link. And then by the time before I finish this live stream, yeah, 300 there. And then afterwards, I will send you a Google Meet link through your email. Okay. But yeah. So that's what I can offer you. I think that's fair under these circumstances. And so let's go ahead and continue. So yeah, the higher self wants to acknowledge that this energy does still have like strong feelings. They felt a connection, etc. And I see here it was mutual. I do see that. But the higher self wants to say somebody here was not done with their player-like ways. They wanted to keep their options open. They wanted to explore other options or just not be tied down. They didn't want to be told what to do. Even if they were in a commitment or a connection, it's just like that moral sense that morals and virtue and integrity kind of went out the window because somebody here is operating out of ego and somebody here hadn't grown up. And so yeah, the higher self wants to apologize on behalf of them because they realized, you know, they had a good thing. They really had a good thing. They were dealing with somebody that was honest, had integrity, was hardworking, etc. And they really felt like somebody, like they sabotaged the connection due to their inconsistency and lack of making a decision and sticking with it. Okay, so this energy does want to communicate, but they feel like their hands are tied. They can't come forward because at this time they're distracting themselves. Like there's a lot of options and energies and possibilities, and because somebody here is not protecting themselves, their energy being honest, it's they can't approach under these circumstances. They got too much stuff going on. Okay. And it's a mental blockage thing. So okay, somebody here is really dealing with, like, in the 3D sense, in this earthly sense, somebody really does have some sort of mental challenges or disorder or something like that, and they're not able, like, even if happiness, blessings, and abundance is staring at them right in the face, right in the eyes, they're just like, huh? What? It's just like cross-eyed. Like they're not seeing things straight. And so, you know, any final messages? Okay, so I'm going to count to 10, and if we get 6 more likes, we're going to do all signs, okay? Otherwise, we'll just do one final spinny spin, okay? So in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 more likes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we didn't reach our goal, which is fine, but I will still like to reward you guys with an additional message. One final spinning spin. 1 and a 2 and a future. Okay, so somebody here wants to know more about their future. Okay. Okay. Future energies. Final message. Future energies. One more. One more. I feel like I need to clear the energies, okay? Don't be stressed, all right? Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. All right. Sorry, private conversation. Anyways, so future energies. So I'm picking up on a immature energy, okay? Immature. And this is the type of person who will paint a pretty picture, or they'll like have a tendency to display all of these options and display all of these opportunities. But I'm getting this like spreading their energies thin. Okay, they're spreading their energies. They're not being direct. They're not being committed. It's just like somebody here is just kind of like living a bachelor or a bachelorette life. Like they're just doing whatever they want. And they've just been trying to focus on. Somebody here has been. I see an energy that is going to work on their image, or like their looks or something like that. Somebody here is going to really work on it. This may be something that they've been putting off. You know, if somebody here wants to get more stronger or more lean or cut or what have you, like I see here that somebody is going to really prioritize their health, okay? And because they want to look good, they want to feel good. And I mean that's a good mindset to have, because when you look good and then you feel good and stuff like, I mean, it's not to say if just because you look good that you feel good, because there's plenty of pretty and handsome people out there that may look good but feel like shit, you know what I mean? And so it's not the end all be all, but obviously somebody here just wants to put a little bit more focus on their appearance, you know, whether that means buying new clothes and donating what they don't wear anymore or what have you. Like, you know, I do like to encourage for those, you know, who wants to get rid of their old clothes and stuff like that, to like donate if you can, obviously. Anything else? I do sense some sort of victory energy. Okay, somebody here is going to make a decision, because whatever this energy was doing, you know, spreading themselves thin and not spreading themselves thin and not committing and all of that, like they realize that they have been a self sabotage. Like they haven't really grown. They're just depleting themselves. They are investing in short-term things that it's like might as well just throw money away. Okay, so somebody here that realized that that's what they've been doing, and that's something they don't want to do anymore. And so somebody here is going to actually make a right decision, make the correct healthy decision for themselves of choosing something, like kind of shying away from their bachelor or bachelorette lifestyle and into something more that is commitment focused and one track, like, you know, sharing a, like a partnership energy. um I do get here somebody does have some sort of addiction, okay? And this is one another thing that this energy is trying to um, heal from, okay? They're try. I'm getting like cold turkey energy, okay? So somebody here may try to like prolong the addiction. You know what I mean? Like do less of it. So if somebody was doing something on a day-to-day basis every day for hours at a time, whatever this is, okay? Whatever this addiction is, um somebody here is going to either cold turkey, like don't stop doing it completely because they know that is toxic and it's a dead end behavior and actions, or they're going to like minimize, like perhaps like from like 7 days a week to once a week, and then sooner or later once a month, and then sooner or later once a year, or like something like that. It's just like, or like none at all, like ideally. But somebody here is just at least trying because their current situation is not going anywhere. How should I feel about everything? Okay, so something about, there's gonna be a, so okay, if this energy does make a decision, right? It's saying that they are going to, then that means there's going to be a return. Okay, there's some sort of like return energy. Okay, so yeah, like a new beginning, a second chance, a new opportunity, and this person is going to be given the floor in a sense, and they're, and it's how they approach that floor, right? That stage, that life stage, you know, where they come forward, and we're going to really see, are they, did they really make the change? Did they make improvements? Are they really better? Okay, somebody here is going to have the opportunity to see if there really has been a change. Because somebody here doesn't want to repeat toxic cycles. They don't want it to be like, oh, like somebody here, you know, let's say they choose to be in something committed and stuff like that because they really care and all of that. But it's just like, it needs to be shown and shared, because somebody here doesn't want to repeat cycles. Like they're they don't want it to be like, oh, okay, well, we'll give you a chance and for it to happen again. It's just like they need some sort of assurance. And you'll know. And you'll know if they really did the work, or if they really improve, if they make changes in their life. What kind of changes? Well, first the lying, the deception, and the mean energy, cutthroat energy, uh, not being compassionate and being thoughtful of how others may feel depending on what they say and their actions. You know, somebody here needs to be more mindful that it's not just them and the connection. It takes two to be in a connection. And so, You'll know. You'll know. And they'll, there's something about sacrifice. Okay, they're gonna be like more generous. It's like if they didn't give you something in the past, or they didn't, like, let's say, like, oh, you know, somebody here would feel more comfortable within this connection if this and that happened, like, and in the past this and that didn't happen. And so this time around, when there's this opportunity for a possible new beginning, if those things haven't been addressed, if they're still left undone, or the promise hasn't been kept, or there's no progression, it's just like what's already been said, if those things are not addressed right away, it's, or before they even want a new beginning, it's just like somebody's going to be like, no, no, because they're really going to honor themselves, their self-respect. And so what's the final message? Yeah, it keeps talking about somebody's going to return for a new opportunity, and this person is going to, they're going to be vocal. They're going to be vocal, and they're going to mention that they still have feelings, that they are still attracted, you know, by their mind, their body, their aura, whatever it is. Okay, but somebody, so, and this, when this happens, it's going to be a very stressful time. Okay, it's going to be very stressful because somebody here is just, their trust is broken. Okay, somebody doesn't trust somebody here anymore, or the that trust has been compromised, broken due to somebody's lying and deceitful ways. And so it's like they, whoever is coming back, it's like they really have to put the consistency and the groundedness, and is willing to change and shift and compromise, and and actually keep their word and promise. Okay, and I, will they do it though? Will they do it? They will. um this is very specific, so obviously it's not going to resonate for everybody, but there's something about, you'll know if they are really serious if you meet their family. Something about meeting their family, you being introduced to their family. There's some sort of family energy. And so because, right? I mean, yes, there's this energy of somebody here just wants to be more involved in somebody's life, instead of just like, oh, lover, romantic interest, but they're just being kept in this little bubble, and not being shared. Or because remember, when we started out this reading, somebody here wants, they want to connect with somebody that they can build a legacy with. So they want somebody that they can be yeah, a partner, a team, like show up at events together, like do business together, like doing things together. Okay, and so, you know, perhaps in the past, this person, this energy was, that was dealing with somebody like this, they kind of felt like they were just in a bubble, and they were being kept from the others. And so it's, there's this lack of trust, right? So how can you trust this energy if they're not willing to incorporate the other into their life, into the rest of their life? And so that's, it's like, it's going to be a huge indicator, because the thing about this is a very significant message. Okay. Okay. And it may be hard for somebody to hear, but if you're a secret, if somebody here is a secret, somebody here is being left in the dark, they're not being shared within the community, with their family, friends, you know, if somebody here is in a connection but they're acting single, that's a red flag, right? Huge red flag. And so the we're looking for something opposite of that. something opposite. So be clear on what you want. Notice the red flags. If somebody's keeping you in the dark, if somebody is not sharing their life with you, but instead it's just like, no, you're just my lover. I'm just gonna keep you to myself, and you don't get to interact with anybody in the rest of the family or the rest of my life or what have you. We're just gonna keep you right here in the circle. No, no. Okay? That's not what love looks like. That is not what love looks like. So somebody here needs to realize that whoever they're connecting with, they want a team. They want to build a legacy with. They want to be a part of a power couple. Okay? Anything else? No, there's your energy. Anything else? No. So, have strength, have courage. If somebody here is just sabotaging themselves, you're just only hurting yourself. Okay? Why would you do that? Why? Okay? So don't do that. The only explanation is there something wrong? There's something wrong, okay? And so okay, even though like I want to be like, oh, end, press end, okay, bye. I keep getting this energy. Somebody here is like sad and it's talking about the lack of direction. Okay, if somebody here really needs to take action and go for what they want, because this waiting around, not doing anything, it's nothing will come of it. Any final messages? Okay, final message. It keeps talking about some sort of distance, and it's like all this person really wants to do is close that distance, close that gap, and be in somebody's embrace. But again, somebody here is not letting go of their baggage, letting go of third-party energies, whether that is somebody cheating or looking into other romantic options, or surrounding themselves with opinions from frenemies or family members that is just selfish and only wants what's convenient for them. Okay? Just be really mindful that this energy, whoever is coming back or whoever wants the second chance, etc., that they have left the baggage out the door, that they have actually addressed it. Okay? We're not looking for somebody who's just like gone on vacation and it's been like 7 days and they haven't even unpacked. We're not looking for that kind of energy. We're looking for somebody who gets home, starts the laundry, gets stuff done, and goes for what they want. Okay, instead of just being a procrastinator. So that is it. Okay. So that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, all right? And if you would like to connect with me outside of this platform, all of that information can be found in the description of this video, okay? Thank you. Thank you, Tonisa. Okay, hang in there.